with Idahoan rivers. It's all about wooden boats on free-flowing rivers. And if you want to row a wooden boat on a free-flowing river, Idaho is one of the best places to do it.
It is the only place to go.
I don't think it's the only place to go. There are other places. Canada.
Oh, okay.
I can't say only, but I really do. I feel like if you are in love with wooden boats on free-flowing rivers, Idaho is the place to go. You know, it's where the community is, it's where the love is, it's where the focus is, and I mean, it just feeds my soul, you know?
The best reason for going in dories is that rafts are ugly and dories are beautiful. But it's the river that counts most, not just for its splashy exuberance, its ever-changing surface patterns in the calm stretches, or its ever-present repertoire of sounds, but because it is our way through the wilderness, our trail, our motive power. Every day we look forward to where it will take us, the things it will show us, things reserved for the eyes and ears of river voyagers.
My best buddy in high school, he and his family were associated with Martin Litton through Sunset Magazine. So I just, by proximity, saw their boat and then got a chance to go to Grand Canyon just to be a baggage boater, help out with one of the very early Martin Litton trips before he was really even incorporated to Grand Canyon Dories. So at that point he was involved with the Marble Canyon Dam fight in Grand Canyon. So his main goal and whole program was all about getting photographs and stories and building this whole groundswell of conservation to protect the Grand Canyon. Snake River became another project that he was recruited for to help protect from dams. The big deal with the Mountain Sheep Dam was that it would be just below the confluence of the Salmon and Snake, and it would have flooded both rivers. So the way that battle was waged was to appeal to all outdoorsmen, because it would have wiped out all the salmon and steelhead. It would have changed the character of the Salmon River forever, having that plug at the bottom of the river. A local jet boater here, Floyd Harvey, reached out to him after reading all about Martin's success in Marble Canyon, said, hey, we need somebody to go testify at the hearings in DC, and would you consider coming and looking at this place and seeing if you could help us? And so Martin did, and they were successful, but only after a huge battle, which ended up with the Supreme Court deciding that the recreational damage that dam was caused was important enough to stop the license, which was amazing. Yeah, I was instantly drawn to rivers. So I don't think it was a conscious decision that I'm going to do this for a long time. I was just a 20-something feeling as though it's doing stuff. But I came here just for Martin. I had never been to Idaho. I was all over it. We just had the business in the backyard and winged it. It was cool. It was back in the full-on hippie days. Coming here to Lewiston, yeah, the neighbors are, who are these guys? Yeah, the neighborhood definitely went downhill when we arrived. They didn't know what to make of it. As we transitioned to being a real company as Grand Canyon Dories, recruiting guides I just put all my ski buddies, told them, hey, you gotta help me out here. You're gonna love this. And yeah, it was trial by fire, and there was lots of chaos. It was nice when I got out of my backyard. That was kind of a key thing.
Curt, he finally came skiing. And when he came skiing one day, I rode up the lift with him. And I said, do you need any boatmen? And he said, what are you doing in April? I said, well, nothing. And that was it. Job interview done. Come up, start running the rivers. It was one of those things where I sat down and went, this is where I belong. This is what I want to do. I will continue to do this as long as I live.
So I drove up to the boathouse, and before I even got out of my van, one of the guides, a guy by the name of Joel Mensick, came out and he offered his hand and he said, hi, I'm Joel, welcome to Dory Land. And I choke up thinking about that, because right then I knew I was coming into a family, and that's how Idaho is. It's more than just a boat company. It's a family up there. When you get the dory bug in your blood, it's just a feel that's different from any other. It's the line of the boats. It's just the way they react to the water, the way they react to what the boatman is trying to do. They're very responsive. They're quick. They're responsive, and they're very unforgiving.
It was quite a developmental process, the evolution of whitewater dories. Yeah, they were very different. One was made by an art student. The one that was most different we called the submarine, and it was just this flat, super low to the water. So any rapid was like whoosh, right through the hole, but it didn't have much open, so there wasn't much to bail or trap water, but the oarlocks were like this far out of the water.
How are they different from a raft? I mean, the only thing that's really similar is that you've got oars and you're running whitewater predominantly. I mean, everything else about them is so different, just in the way they handle, how responsive they are. You can pivot them, super rapidly, and the way they handle in the whitewater is totally different. And that energy is converted directly into movement in the dory, and the boat just dances on the water. Every nuance of the wave train you feel and you move. And with the rafts, they bend and they absorb a lot of that, and they kind of chug through it. And so if I've been rowing a dory for a while, the sensation that I get, when I jump back in a raft, it's like my boat just had a bunch of Novocaine or something. It's like numb. It's like you don't feel it.
Once you get the feel and you're in big water, for me it makes me giggle. I mean, it's just like you're in this unbelievable stuff and this boat is just dancing. It's pure poetry and grace when you run a big rapid and you hit your line and you're just through this mayhem all around you, and this boat is just dancing through.
What about Idaho and Dories?
What about Idaho and Dories?
How do they mesh up?
Oh, they mesh like butter and bread. I mean, you don't have Idaho without Dories. But Dories are special. I mean, Dories are unique. They're, again, I don't want to say that anybody can row a raft, but a raft is forgiving. A raft you can hit rocks, a raft you can bounce off things. A dory you can't. A dory takes a unique craft to get it down through low water, through rocky water, through technical water, without putting a hole in it, without banging it up, without damaging it. And there's not a lot of people that can do that.
Dories are just very allergic to rocks, and all of those that we have that are wood, most of them are antiques from Grand Canyon, so they're pretty tender.
Those boats, I mean, they've been in pieces so many times and put back together. Huge wrecks that if you would pull into a camp and you'd see the boat and you'd see the pieces and you'd see the repair kit out and all the tools spread out on a tarp and the boatman going to work.
We carry a big toolkit, but what we didn't carry is any spare wood. Martin was always, there's lots of driftwood. You can just, get driftwood. And Martin was into fiberglassing things with his bare hands and then going down and washing his hands in the river. And you're just like, what? You're just like, no.
And by morning, it's going again.
You're gonna find that if we don't make a decision, you're gonna get caught on the rock island, Okay. I would point to the right here and just set your angle. And then go to the right of these rocks. And then we'll go back. So your first impression when you come up to look at a raft is like, where don't I want to go? Which side of the river am I going to start on? So the snow hole rock is obviously a major feature down there. I don't want to mess with it. Smashing boats, rafts, flipping, rafts, things like that. So how do I go about avoiding that? What's my maneuver?
You feeling nervous about it?
I feel nervous?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm a little nervous. I'd be worried if I wasn't. I mean, you got a plan. Everyone has a plan.
Is that Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
When we started out, Luke saw that he was a little too far left, but I think he gave it one too many little pulls to the right, and so then he was fighting the river across. Well, I was pretty sure I was about to hear a sickening crunch, which is what happens when a wooden boat hits a rock. It was more of a sideways, off the rails kind of run. The wheels fell off to a certain extent, but it worked out really well. It's all high fives. It's always a good run. Nobody flipped, nobody swam.
It's beautiful to have people, when I see them get it, or the first time they really keep the boat straight through a big wave and they've got their oars in the water and they start to feel in control, and as opposed to, these boats can be a little squirrely. And once you harness that and watching other people experience this thing that I know and is why I keep coming back and wanting to row Dories, and watching other people experience that for the first time and the excitement that they get when they can finally get over a little bit of the nervousness of, holy cow, this boat's made of wood, and they go, oh wow, oh that's why, okay.
So I try to explain it to you. It's just something that I gotta do. To myself I must be true on the road. Drinking beer, laughing loud, always like a smaller crowd. I'm just trying to make my daddy proud on the river. I'll be good, pretty mama, good while I'm gone. I'm not gonna harm ya, I'll be good while I'm gone. I will stay true on the river blue. I'll be good, pretty mama, good while I'm gone. I'll be good, little mama, good while I'm gone.
Wild Sheep is a great rapid. At different water levels, it presents different situations. At low water, when you get down into the seam at the bottom, you've got to commit. There's two waves coming at you, and typically you need to choose left or right, and you've got to commit to one or the other, because if you try and ride the seam, they're going to end up flipping your boat, or can. So it's a commitment thing.
Gnarly.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'm going there. I would say that Wild Sheep probably has flipped more boats in our company than any other raft in Hell's Canyon.
Like the talk of all of Idaho, you know, it's like, you know, Curt Chang flipped, which is the best. And he's like, now he's gonna ham it up a little bit, like, yeah, I did it, I went over there on purpose. And you're like, yeah, okay, Curt, yeah, maybe he did, he might have.
Oh, come on. Yeah, driver error, pilot error there.
It doesn't happen very often to Curt Chang, but when it does happen, he remembers it pretty well. And he was, yeah, it was awesome. I was happy he flipped.
Why was the reason you kept going?
For so long?
Yeah.
I loved it. I mean, I loved it. If there was some reason I was going to miss a trip, I'd break out in a sweat. I mean, I would go trip after trip after trip as long as the season went. I say to some of my younger peers, you know, if you have a passion, follow it. You know, just if something doesn't feel right, move on, stop, do something else. Find what's out there waiting for you, because something's out there waiting for you. Don't spin your wheels doing something that you don't care about, because you're going to do a half-assed job and you're not going to be happy. Find your passion and live it. And boy, I'll start tearing up if I go, yeah, it was the best. No regrets. Amazing career, and friendships, that family feeling when you're up in Idaho, it's there. That bond is just, it never goes away.
Family, take it all like car. Family, oh, 4 seasons. Family, well, bless your heart.
Take on Curt, huh? Legend, encyclopedia, teacher, guy who's seen it, maybe either made the mistake or seen it made, so hopefully you don't have to. He's the man. I don't know. He's the guy. Best boss I ever had. Has our backs. Loves carnage. Yeah.
I'm so honored and privileged to work for Curt Chang. I mean, he knows so much. He's been around. He's rode dories. He was in the Grand Canyon with Martin a long time ago. His stories, when he comes on the river, is a joy to be around.
Curt Chang?
Yeah.
Curt Chang's great, man. He is the master of logistics. And I have a unique relationship with Curt because I started working there when I was like 12 or 13. And so he's always kind of, I don't know, I think he's been in many ways more, part father.
What's your take on Curt?
I love him. Like he's had my back through everything. And I just owe him a ton of love. It's love.